Hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Kenobi's Bunker. Thank you so much for joining me here on another episode of Fulcrum Decoded. That's right, we got another episode of Ahsoka this week, and man, what an episode it was. We'll talk about it. So, I hope that you guys are doing fine on this very nice Wednesday night. I hope that your week has been going great. And if nothing else, the weekend is almost here, guys. So hang on tight just a little bit more. I have to believe that that episode of Ahsoka made it a little bit better, for your week. So um, let me. You guys are very active in the chat already. So once again, thank you so much for joining here. This is the Fulcrum Decoded. This is our live stream where we talk about, you guessed it, the Ahsoka show. And in this particular case, tonight we're going to be talking about episode 4, The Fallen Jedi. Ooh, sounds good, doesn't it? All right. So coming to you live from the new bunker. Doing a little bit of progress. If you noticed from last week, I did put up some more stuff up there. I hope. Let me know what do you guys think. So let me check in here with the chat real quick because you guys are bumping already. All right, let's go. Juan, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you so much. We got Saga in the house. The figure trap. So one of the best reviewers of figures out there on YouTube, guys. Definitely go check him out here. Again, the figure trap. Our buddy Saga is coming back with a vengeance. Love it. Saying hi to Juan. Josue, thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you, thank you. Saying hello. Got Rex from Millennium Workshop. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, good sir. Let's go. Absolutely right. We got Joe from JMC Collect saying, "What's up, Jose? Let's go, my brother. Let's do this." Josue saying, "Let's go." Juan saying, "What's up, guys?" JMC saying, "What's up, everyone?" Juan saying, "I hope you're doing okay." Doing great, man. Thank you so much. JMC saying, "Room looking good, bro." Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah. Still a work in progress, but slowly but surely, we're making improvement. So yeah, guys, I'm excited for when it's actually more or less complete, right? I don't think it'll ever be fully complete, but we are definitely working on it. We got our mod LeBron Fed saying hello, everybody. LeBron saying, "I like the setup, bro. I appreciate that." Juan saying, "Nice new bunker." Yes, again, still working on it. So I pull out some of my ships. Whoops, right there. I got tired of you guys just seeing, just cardboard boxes and a whole mess. Um, so the plan is actually to have a bookcase, basically. Hopefully, about yay high that covers, most of that section, and we're gonna have some ships there. Um, I'm trying to find one that is tall enough that it can fit. I have a couple of AT-ATs in box that I would like to display. I don't know. It's not going well. Most bookcases are not adjustable, and the ones that are adjustable are not that pretty. Honestly, I don't really like them that much, and they're kind of expensive actually. And so I've been trying to find one that's already made, sort of to those measurements. It's not going great. So honestly, I think what it's gonna end up happening, I'm just gonna buy one that looks okay, or that at least I like the way it looks, and then trying my best to fit, some of those ships there. So, like I said, we got a couple already here. There's more in the bottom. You can't see it. This is just a table. Um, but I got tired of these guys just being in a box. Some of these have been in a box for a long time, actually. I'm talking about years. So I was like, you know what? I think it's time to display them. All right. We got our brother Daniel from the Legacy of Nerds saying the bunker bunch. That's right. Josue saying, "Wow, looking amazing with the new bunker." Hey, appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Again, it's nowhere near ready. Um, I did. Thank you, thank you. I did do a little bit of work since last time. Like I said, I put up some more figs on this side. Definitely more on this side. I don't think this was there last time we spoke. So yeah, trying to make it look a little bit, I guess, symmetric. I do have, some figures up there. You can't see because my big old head is in the way. But yeah, so I I'm trying, like I said, to have at least this portion of it done. There's still a lot going on, that you don't see. Still got a lot of stuff to put up. Anyway, LeBron reminding everybody, don't forget to hit that like button, like below to hit that rock. Yeah, there you go. I like that. The figure trap saying, "Yup, your spa looks great." Hey man, thanks man, I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here, brother. Appreciate you. Hey, what's going on? Rex from Millennium Workshop saying, "Too bad you don't live in Ohio. I would just make you some shelves." Ah, dude, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, I thought about it to be honest with you about going with like custom shelves, but I've had bad experiences before, and I don't really know anybody out here that does that kind of stuff. Plus, like I said, it's not that big of a space. And so a bookshelf would be fine. Like I said, my only problem is the height for the boxes. They're tall boxes, and books are not usually that tall, obviously. So I'm having a little bit of trouble there. I still have like one small spot that I don't know what I'm gonna do with. Possibly another bookshelf, maybe some more shelf, like standalone shelves or floating shelves. Still not too sure. I'll let you guys know when I decide, and maybe you guys can help me decide. Actually, why am I doing all the work? What is this? I got a bunker bunch. Come on now. All right, so caught up with the chat once again, guys. I really appreciate you coming in each and every single Wednesday. For those of you that do, most of the time. So uh, whoop, there we go. My arm for the microphone is not cooperating today. So if somebody starts not listening to me, let me know because this thing is just not having it today. Okay, hopefully you can hear me there. Maybe that's better. Um, so we got a new episode of Ahsoka. We are halfway to the season. Can you believe that? That is nuts. It feels like we barely got started. We're already halfway done, which is I don't know. That's just crazy. So um, I don't know. I was gonna call it a really good episode, but I kind of want to hear what you guys think. So it definitely got people buzzing. I think it's definitely been well received. I've heard a lot of stuff since last night. The episode premiered 24 hours ago, actually, almost exactly 24 hours ago, and I've heard nothing but good things. So, which I'm glad because, like I said before even the show started, we kind of need a win. Okay, we kind of need a win with the Star Wars fans, honestly. So, yeah, so we will be talking about that episode here tonight. Just as a quick reminder, I hope that everybody here in the chat has seen it already. Bunker Bunch, let me know. Uh, if not, feel free to exit. Go watch it. It's not that long of an episode. You guys can catch up in like 40 minutes or so. And if you want to come back here, we'll still be talking about it. If not, you can always catch us on the replay, which we appreciate a lot. And for those of you already watching the replay in the future, you are part of the Bunker Bunch. So appreciate you guys for that. Um, before we begin, I don't know if you guys heard this. So there is actually gonna be screenings in movie theaters for the next episode, for episode 5, which, in case you don't remember, that's the last one directed by Dave Filoni. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we got very, very high hopes for that, especially after last night's episode, right? So it's a limited release. It's not going in every theater across the nation. It is happening on different spots throughout the country. San Antonio is sadly not one of them, which kind of sucks. So we won't be getting that Ahsoka episode 5 on the big screen here in the Alamo City. I think the closest I saw was probably Dallas, which is still not close at all. So, so yeah, that's gonna be a no for me, especially because it's on Tuesday, right? One thing I did like about it is I think they're showing it like 1 hour before Disney Plus, which I thought was kind of cool. Like you should be rewarded, right, if you buy a ticket. But I yeah, I wish they would have done San Antonio. It would have been epic, I think. But this tells me a couple things. So one, it tells me that they were absolutely banking on episode 4 generating the buzz that it did, honestly. Also, today ends the Ghost campaign of the HasLab. For Hasbro Pulse, for those of you who don't know, there is a campaign going on to fund the vintage collection scale Ghost, Hera's ship. or the shipping rebels, and that ends tonight. Actually, I'm not even sure what time it ends. I'll check in right now. And so it's sort of all converging, right? It's sort of all kind of getting in the synchronization, let's call it. So it definitely shows that Hasbro was counting on having a good episode with episode 4. I like the idea of watching Ahsoka on the big screen. This episode that we're going to talk about here in a little bit looked gorgeous. Okay, gorgeous. I love the way it looks. Visually, very stunning. Some of the settings, the fights, all of that, very very nice. So I would love to have seen it in the big screen. Now, next episode, again directed by Dave Filoni, rumored to have a longer runtime. I've seen different reports, but most of them say over 50 minutes, which is good. Definitely, I'll take that. So it's like a very short movie, right? So very very cool that it's gonna be shown in theaters. And I also think that it has to do with the strike, right? I think they might be trying to say, hey, let's get some people out into the theaters, first of all. Let's get as much good press as we can for this show, because I don't know when the next show is gonna be. I don't know when the next Star Wars show is gonna premiere. All right. I think the next one slated was Andor season 2. And I don't know that they're done 100% with that show. Now, let alone an actual release date. So yeah, I kind of feel that they're like, hey, you know what? This is gonna be the most Star Wars we have, pretty much for this year, right? And so we gotta make the most out of it. So let's build as much good faith out there with the fans. Let's maybe invite some of them to the screening. We're gonna show Ahsoka episode 5 on the big screen, and I think they're calling it a mid-season premiere, which technically we didn't stop mid-season, but hey, I'll take it. So, like I said, we're already halfway there, guys. It's kind of nuts to think that we got 4 more episodes left in this season. Let me catch up here real quick with the chat. Mm-mm-mm. LeBron saying, "Did you check Target for the bookshelf?" I have, but they don't have that many. At least not the ones here. Um, I really liked it a lot. Good, good, good. Carlos saying CGI look weird. Sabers, yes. Fallen Jedi, yes, absolutely. Daniel from the Legacy Nerd saying, I don't know. I feel they might add in San Antonio. I'm down for that. I am down. LeBron dropping some links here in the chat. We have the Figure Traps YouTube channel. We got Millennium Workshops YouTube channel as well as the Legacy of Nerd here on YouTube. So, guys, if you see a link being dropped here in the chat, go ahead and click on it. Check out if it's a YouTube channel, subscribe, watch a couple videos, leave some comments. If it's a TikTok, an Instagram, make sure that you follow as well. We always try to help out each other here. So we got Saga saying Robobox. Yes, that I was watching the Real Still movie. Yang's Little Rupert. Yes, that was awesome. LeBron dropping James C. Collects. YouTube link here also. Archer from Nerd Affiliated, Mr. Hollywood in the house. What is going on? Saying, look at that setup. Oh, thanks, man. I cleaned up a little bit. And like I said, I'm still working on it, but yeah, I'm kind of liking the way this looks. I kind of wish I was a little bit out of the way, so you guys could see that a little bit more. But at the same time, I kind of like that it looks like I have, like Star Wars antlers. So I dig it. Got Robert Gilster in the house saying, hey, Bunker Bunch. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. Juan said, was being controlled by Hugh Jackman? Yes, it was. LeBron dropping my Spanish channel here on YouTube, which I appreciate you for that, LeBron. Thank you. I'm horrible at promoting myself. So, guys, we actually have a second channel that we create content in Spanish. And the name of this channel is El Búnker del General Kenobi. Link right there on the chat. So I'd appreciate it if you check that out too. Mr. Hollywood saying, doing some photos. So I'll be listening. Oh, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you. Luis, what is going on? How you doing, man? The figure traps in there showing it in Seattle, but I work that day, so I won't be making that. It's dope. It'll be in theaters. Yeah, I really like that idea, to be honest with you. Like I said, they are definitely banking on Dave Filoni doing a good job for that episode, and I don't blame them, one bit. We got Rolando in the house, our multiversal mod. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. G4 saying freaking Ahsoka streams. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Yeah, dude. That is the how can I say it? That is the downside, if you want to call it that, to the episodes dropping so in this new time slot, right? So it's basically a prime time TV. Everybody can watch it right away, and everybody does their streams and things like that. I feel I'm behind the curve just doing it, literally 24 hours after the episode drop. But hey, we're here. We're gonna have fun. We're the Bunker Bunch, so we're gonna jump right into it. Jim for saying, "Hey, General in chat, thanks, man. Thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you." LeBron dropping Nerd Affiliated's YouTube channel right there, dropping GeForce Racing as well. GeForce saying, "Thank you, LeBron." Yes, sir. Thank you to LeBron, our awesome mod, who you should definitely check out on this link that you see on the screen right here. He has his own YouTube channel and he makes some really, really good figure reviews. He's been doing a lot of Power Rangers, which, it was Power Rangers month. But yeah, definitely. And what do we got here? We got a weird flex right now. So our brother Daniel from the Legacy Center saying, I don't want to brag, but I've been in the bunker. He has. He helped me clean out, which is nice. Robert from Gilster 37 saying LeBron fed figure traps G-Force. Ooh, saying hi to everybody. I love it. Uh, our brother Archer saying LOL Legacy. Rolando saying hi to everybody. I appreciate you, man. Saying hi to JMC as well. Robert continuing to say hi to everybody. Everybody saying hi back. I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. So I think we've talked enough here and we've danced around the subject a little bit too much because we got a lot to talk about. Okay. So this is your reminder that we hope that you have seen the episode because we're about to go into spoiler territory. All right. Nothing's going to be held back. Guys, if you haven't and you still like to support the channel, I appreciate you, first of all. But you can go ahead and pause here, exit, go watch the episode tonight, later on tomorrow, and then come back here for the replay. That's completely fine. If you want to stick around and you don't mind being, spoiled some of the details of the episode, by all means. Regardless, I appreciate you watching. And for those of you watching in the future on the replay, you are the Bunker Bunch. So that is going to be your warning, okay? And just in case you guys are just reading my lips, right? We're going to put this guy right here. Okay, Ahsoka, episode 4, The Fallen Jedi, which I'll be honest with you, right off the bat, I was like, okay, yeah, I know who the Fallen Jedi is. I don't think I do. I don't think I do anymore. So let's go with this right here. All right. So I'm going to be skipping ahead a little bit. We're not going to do a full review of the entire episode because there's a lot that I want to talk about. So I might be skipping some big chunks in terms of time. But let's go right into it. So we obviously pick up in where we left off. The ship is down. Hu Yang and Sabine are trying to repair it. Hu Yang more than Sabine, honestly. And he's trying to get the communications back online so that they can call General Syndulla and her fleet. Excuse me. So, which I'm like, okay, but she didn't get permission to help, right? Which was not nice from Manma, but technically she didn't. So, I like this scene because we see Sabine finally being a little bit more Mandalorian. She's doing a weapons check, which I love her blasters, by the way. And she's being, kind of nervous, kind of antsy. But I like the way that armor looks, for her. I think it makes sense that we finally get to see her full on Mandalorian. And they actually, they have a little talk. Ahsoka says, chill out. Sabine is like, hey, I am chilled. No, she's not. Anyway, Hu Yang is repairing the ship, like I said. And they're trying to get prioritize the communications, and then I actually like this scene because they get attacked by an HK, and let me see if I can pull it up here. So yes, here we go. So Hu Yang and the HK throw it down. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually really enjoyed this scene because Huyang's got some moves, all right? You know, a droid that's like, I don't even know how old he is, what, 25,000 years old or something like that. So you end up picking up, a thing or two here and there. He's been to places. So I actually like that he stood his ground against an assassin droid. So a droid that's specifically built and designed to hurt. And he kind of kept up with it. So very, very cool. I actually think a lot higher of Hu Yang now. Not that I didn't like him. I just like him a little bit more now. And he cuts the power to the ship, to which Sabine is like, "Oh man, he's messing up." And I kind of like this because Ahsoka was like, "Hey, he would never do that. So there's something wrong." So she's immediately getting the hint. Um, and so of course, the fight ensues. Very cool to see Ahsoka and Sabine fighting together. They got some nice moves put up with each other. They were kind of in sync. Sabine is not using her lightsaber. Ahsoka is, of course, and they dispatch the droids and some of those very disposable guards that keep popping out. I don't know; those poor guys are not doing great in the fights. One thing that I want to note is that I like the way this Cetos planet looks. Kind of kind of a light mist type of thing, a little bit of mysterious. Not too much that you can't see what's going on, but I've enjoying the setting. And so, of course, the henchmen are dispatched. They're all faceless, so we knew none of them were gonna do any great. Sabine actually took a few shots to her armor, which I thought was very how can I say it? Very much in tune with what we see in the Mandalorian show. So basically the same sound, things like that, of how the Beskar deflects, or not deflects, but absorbs the blast uh, bolts. And so here we go. I want to try to get this as best as I can. Oh, come on. So, whoops, wrong button. So there is something that happens here when
Well, that will set me
we
back one
that they should go together, right? That they were always better
request of you
together.
both.
And
We
um,
better get moving.
whoops, don't want to get stricken. And Sabine is like, yeah, sure, we're gonna go, we're gonna be careful, we're gonna be together,
Together.
right there. And then
Oh, very good.
check this out. Boom. What is that? Is that Ahsoka actually smiling on her show for the first time on the fourth episode? Hey, I'm all for it. Okay, I will take it. More of that. Okay. If you remember, Ahsoka was very quip, very even a little bit campy in the Clone Wars, and even a little bit on Rebels. But obviously, a lot of stuff has happened, that would not give her too many reasons to smile. I get that, but I kind of, we talked about it before the show even started. I kind of wish that we would see a little bit more of the playful, right? A little bit more of the snips in her, if you will. So I actually enjoyed this, finally getting to see her smiling. So then we get, okay, this I'm all about this scene right here. You guys know that I love, capital ships, and this scene is just so nice. I would love to have seen this in the big theater, in the big screen, right at a theater. This is very, very cinematic. I love that we are getting to see Home One a lot more, um, because it makes sense, right? That's still the flagship right now. They are building new ships and stuff, but nothing as big as that. And in case you guys don't remember, Home One, it was about the only ship in the Rebel fleet that could go toe to toe against Star Destroyer. So while the Empire had hundreds, if not thousands, of Star Destroyer. The Rebellion had the one. That's why they called it Home One. It's about the strongest cruiser that they had. So I really like how this fleet is, built around him, around Home One. I mean, so love these scenes. Like I said, every time they include ships, I'm all for it. And to the surprise of nobody, we got Hera disobeying orders and saying, "Hey, okay, the government didn't let me take my fleet, but I can still take my ship." And of course, we're talking about the Ghost, right? Uh, Little nameless lieutenant is saying, "Hey, you can't do that," and she's like, "Well, watch me," right? And to which, by the way, I was a little bit divided here. I was going back and forth on this scene because so she's taking her son, right, in her ship, um, her freighter, into what she's pretty sure is a dangerous mission, right? So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if, as a parent, I can get behind that. But I was thinking about it a little bit more, and you guys let me know what you think. So, what is the alternative, right? Because the kid is there already. It's in the fleet. So if you leave him, right, you basically leave him alone because you kind of have to take Chopper along with the Ghost to make repairs and all that stuff. So you would be leaving your kid at the care of, um, maybe somebody in the staff. I don't really know that she has friends anymore. So I'm like, yeah, maybe that sounds worse than getting him, like grabbing him, and taking him along for this very possibly dangerous mission. And what do you guys think? Do you think that Hera just thinks she's such a good pilot that she's like, hey, if we get into a jam, I can get us out? I'm in my ship, I'm in the Ghost. There's nothing I can do. So I'm going to bring my kid because, in my mind, he's actually going to be safer with me on a dangerous mission, right? Than me leaving him alone in a fleet, in a huge ship filled with a bunch of strangers. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Like I said, at first I was like, nah, man, I wouldn't take my kid like that. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, maybe this was the better option. Anyway, so she takes him out in the Ghost, and then we get a little bit of a whoops, keep doing that. We get a little bit of backup, um,
Once a rebel, always
in the
a
form
rebel.
of this guy here, Carson Tiva. I'm so happy to see him again. I kind of like that he's becoming the recurring character on all of these Disney Plus shows. I like the guy. Uh, so Carson Tiva, for those of you who don't know, has come out in The Mandalorian before. Um, he is an actor. He's a Canadian actor, and he's a Star Wars fan, right? So it's very cool that he landed the role, uh, and that he keeps coming back, right? Which I was hoping for, and it makes sense because we are looking at a lot of the New Republic stuff, and he is, one of their pilots. So again, I just love, when they do formations like this. So we got Hera in the Ghost, and we got 5 X-wings. One of them is being piloted by the director of this episode, by the way. I'm not sure about the other ones now that I think about it. One of them is a female Rhodian, and there is another female pilot that she's probably somebody. I haven't double checked, and I'm not sure that she's another director, but one of them that pops out is the director for this episode, which I always thought it was cool. And again, I also love how we still get some of the classic ships like the Nebulon B Freighter right there, and we got some Corvettes down here. So love it. I absolutely anytime I see the fleet, I'm happy. Okay, definitely some of my favorite scenes. All right, so we got Morgan basically activating the map, and they start to not download but calculate the jump coordinates into the other galaxy. Of course, they know that Ahsoka and Sabine are gonna try to stop him, which of course they're heading that way. So Balin dispatches Marok and Shin to stall them. Pause for effect. Which, A fun battle ensues. Basically, Sabine goes up against Shin, and Ahsoka takes on Amarok. And like I said, I'm kind of liking this setting for the duels. I think it's a nice backdrop for some of the colors. It really pops the lightsabers. But let me make a quick pause here and let me catch up with the chat because you guys are bumping tonight, and I'm falling way behind. Where are we? See what I'm telling you? I'm already lost. Here we go. Rolando dropping some links. So we got Gilster's Instagram right there, guys. Check him out. Juan saying hello to people coming in. Millennium saying spoiler alert. Yep, we did one of those. And it's right there on the bottom too. LeBron saying the Fallen Jedi was Ahsoka off the cliff. We'll get to that. Rex saying the Fallen Jedi I think is about bailing any good and any good will he might have left. Yeah, but that's what I thought too. But I'm not so sure anymore. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Robert says, watch right after work last night. At work was like, come people gotta get home to watch Ahsoka episode 4. Yep. So do your job. There you go. That's a good incentive right there. Saga saying, I hope I move that good when I'm 25,000 years old. Yeah, dude. Hu Yang threw it down this episode. Very, very cool. Joe saying hi to Gilster, to GeForce, to Rolando, to LeBron saying thank you. LeBron saying you're welcome. LeBron saying I like smiling at Soka. Me too. I feel like we should see more of that. Juan saying I like Rosario Dawson smiling. Yep, same here, man. Saga saying Sabine pulled the Wonder Woman deflect with the blaster. Yeah, she was doing that gauntlets, right? Not gauntlets, but what are they called? Whatever these bracelets, I guess. LeBron saying me too, Juan. Saga saying absolutely. I'm with Juan LeBron. I'm all about that Rosario Dawson smile, dude. Right? It feels kind of weird not to see her smile for such a long time. It took 4 episodes, but hey, it's here, and I'm all for it. LeBron saying Harold probably took him because she could get in trouble for disobeying orders. Yeah, so you bring up a good point. Maybe she took him because if things go south and she gets reprimanded, right, or she gets, I don't know, kicked out of the Navy, uh, she can always just not come back, right? She has her son, she has her droid and her ship. She can go off and be a pirate again or something like that. That's a good point. Figure trap saying take him or leave him. You're probably getting a visit from CPS. Yeah, right. I don't know. It was maybe a tough choice. I was hoping to see Seb in the next wing or in the Ghost. Yeah, me too. So when Carson Tiva pops out, I'm like, okay, why is Seb not here? Um, maybe they're saving him, for later episode, or maybe he's too expensive, right? And they had already overdone the budget for this episode. Juan asking, what's the Black Shadow going off the other Sith Inquisitor? What's the Black Shadow going off the other Sith Inquisitor when he gets sort of killed? We'll see. I think Voldemort is finally dead. I like that. Great fights is throughout. Yeah, the fights were really nice in this episode. I think that Smoke, that the mirror can spell ghost things. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Fallen Jedi title have multiple meanings. Ahsoka falling, Shin and Balin, and Sabine's possible turn. Okay, so they get to fight. Some cool scenes. Sabine is trying to blast away at Shin. It's not working out, so she has to pull the lightsaber. She's kind of holding her own, but not really. And we get this sort of like countdown, right, for when the bad guys are gonna get all of the coordinates they need. So I did like this that we get to see both fights kind of at the same time, in each other's background. So Sabine and Shin, and if you can see back here, there's Marok against Ahsoka. So I did like these scenes a lot. The way they look again with the forest. It's dark, but not super dark that you can't tell what's going on, and obviously it makes the lightsabers pop, a lot nicer. So let's see it here, right there. So Ahsoka in a very samurai style fight, she takes out Marok, right? Cuts him right there across the chest. Even though my man, I thought it was gonna do the helicopter thing, with the spinning lightsaber. When he put it like above his head and it started spinning, I was like, oh no, please don't fly away. He didn't, which is good. Um, and then this happens. So right there. So our friend Marek deflates completely, and then he's gone. So I was thinking the same thing as LeBron, I think, mentioned here, uh, that the smoke was some of the ghost things from Dathomir, and it could very well be. Um, we know that Morgan is at least related to the witches of Dathomir, right? And they have dark side powers that had to deal a lot with the dead. So was this just like a like a specter put into a new body? Was this somebody else, right? And this is just the way their species, escapes. Many questions. So a lot of people, of course, were sort of complaining because he um, he was a character that was surrounded in mystery. So there were a lot of theories out there. And yes, I think we all heard him that he was Starkiller, which I was not hoping for at all. That he was Barry Sophie, which I was more into that. That he was Ezra, that he was Kanan, etc. So we don't know who he was. We just kind of know what he was now. So I like this. I think this is better. This creates, a sense that he doesn't really have to be anybody. He can be another character, right? A brand new character, which I'm totally cool with. Um, so yeah, my least favorite one was that he was Starkiller. I didn't think this was a good way to introduce the character, if it's ever going to be introduced into canon. So there goes Merrick, at least for now, right? I don't know if he can regroup that fog and you know build himself a new body or possess a new body. I don't know what's going on, but it was cool. One thing I will notice though is that, remember Tales, right? Tales of the Jedi, when Ahsoka fights that other Inquisitor, the one with like the bird face that looked really cool, and she kills him also, by the way, and the dude just kind of disappears, right? Like sort of evaporates. So I'm like, okay, uh, were Inquisitors sort of deflatable like that, or more of them were? Not sure. So there might be a connection there. So again, there goes Merrick, and so Ahsoka's okay. Well, I gotta go help Sabine. Sabine's like, nope, I got this. You go ahead and you go ahead and stop them right from reading the map. And mind you, Ahsoka and Sabine had a little discussion at the beginning of the episode that Ahsoka basically told him, hey, you know what? If we can get to them, maybe it's better if we just destroy the map and nobody can get to Thrawn or Ezra for that matter. To which Sabine was like, "Hey, what do you mean? Like, are we gonna leave Ezra out, like stranded out there in the middle of the other galaxy?" And Ahsoka was like, "Well, I mean, if it means stopping Thrawn, then yeah, that's what we do, right?" And Sabine was like, I don't know." And Ahsoka was like, "Right, right, that's what we do. That's the right thing to do." Um, and it doesn't work out that well, right? So we'll talk about that right now. Anyway, continuing on, Morgan gets back to the Halo. Of course, we got finally the confrontation between Ahsoka and Balin. And we've kind of seen this play out a little bit too much in the trailers. So Balin says the famous, line that Anakin spoke very highly of you. Everybody knew Anakin in the Order, and Ahsoka was like, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know. Anakin never talked about you, and so Balin was a little bit hurt about that. But hilarity ensues, and he's of course he's stalling for time, right? Because they're still calculating the hyperspace jump coordinates. So he's basically telling him, yeah, why did you abandon your master? Um, Better if you survive to see what he became. Of course, we're talking about Darth Vader. And to which I'm like, okay, well, how does Balin, all right? Because remember, we all know that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader, but the galaxy doesn't widely know yet. They will, and that's actually what ends Leia's career. But I don't know that they know at this point. Anyway, Ahsoka's like, yeah, I'm just here to destroy the map, so let's just start fighting. One thing I want to point out, and this scene does a good job at that, is that I think Ahsoka really changed up her fighting style in this episode. She doesn't use her shoto, her short lightsaber, um, almost at all. She uses it against those minions at the beginning, and then that's it. When she was fighting Marok, she was using the one lightsaber, and when she was fighting Balin, she was using the one lightsaber. Even when she's kind of losing, she doesn't pull out the second one. So I don't know. I thought that was curious. It looks very deliberate, the choreography, of course. So I don't know what's going on with that. Let me catch up here with the chat real quick. Let me see, where are we? Here. G4 saying Dathomir, you were so close, LeBron. Yeah. Rex from Millennium Workshop saying that was the last Horcrux. That's probably what it was. You're right. Nerd affiliated say literally the only subverted expectation I enjoyed. He was nobody. Well, to be fair, we don't know who he was, right? We just know that he went poof. But we might still get some backstory, and turns out it's somebody we know. Turn, Spectre, right? Turn Dathomir ghoul or zombie or whatever you want to call it. LeBron saying, way closer than I thought, GeForce. Yes, sir. Martha saying hi. LeBron saying hi to Martha. GeForce saying Night Sister Magic. Absolutely. Nerfy Lane said, oh, that setup was so obvious. Sorry. We knew someone would mess up from that conversation. Yep. But well, there's another bit that I wanna focus on right now. Uh GeForce saying, I don't think Sabine messed up. Giving her options was the only one she could get to Ezra. Balin looks amazing, like a Sean Connery Jedi. Dude, right? I'm so sad that Ray passed away, because he he's getting a lot of praise, honestly. And we do it's not for nothing that, honestly, I think Balin's becoming one of my favorite characters. I really liked him in this episode. I like the way he looks, I like the way he moves, I like the way he talks. Um yeah, I just wish that we could see more of him. Um, but yeah, again, unfortunate of his passing. The actor, of course. I don't know if the character is gonna make it out of this season or not. I kind of wish he did. Obviously, very hard to follow up, in the next season. But I've been enjoying his character a lot more than I thought I was gonna. Anyway, so they get to fight, of course, and I like again, I really like the way Balin looks, because he's like a knight, not like a Jedi Knight, but like a medieval knight. Look at him. He's got some armor. He's got raggedy clothes. He looks like he just came from a Game of Thrones cosplay party. And the way he fights, it's like he had a broadsword. It's like his lightsaber has some weight to it. So I like the choreography, because it reminded me of those, literally the very first lightsaber fights, right, with Sir Alec Guinness. Um, being very like, how can I say it? Not very acrobatic, but very concise strikes, right? So again, we've talked about it ad nauseum. They're definitely going with the samurai motif, but I get like samurai against medieval knight vibes from this fight. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And so we got Sabine gets her lightsaber taken, and Ahsoka finally makes it. Oh, come on. Okay, so Sabine gets her lightsaber taken, and she has to rely on her Mandalorian weaponry, which is cool. She tries to force push Hati, Shin, and she couldn't. So there, she just blasts her with her wrist dart and knocks out her lightsaber, which I thought was very very cool. Again, Ahsoka manages to get the map, and which burns her hand, which is a little bit weird. But anyway, Shin escapes, and there. So Ahsoka sees that Shin arrives, and there's no Sabine, so she thinks that Shin took out Sabine, and Ahsoka sort of knocks out Shin. But then we get Sabine grabbing the map, and Ahsoka just telling her, "Hey, destroy it. Don't risk it." Right? Sabine doesn't, and then we get this scene right here. So Balin takes out Ahsoka, right? She falls from the cliff. We don't see her land, not yet anyway. And then we have this exchange. So Balin is basically telling Sabine, don't do it. This is the only way you're ever going to get to see your friend Ezra, right? But, Sabine was already hesitating, right? And like nerd affiliated Archer said, they were kind of setting us up for this. I just kind of like that they did follow through a little bit. One thing that I'm like, and maybe somebody here can explain to me why, but man, how does Balin know everybody's name? Because he tells Sabine, "Is like, I know that you're looking for Ezra Bridger." I'm like, dude, how do you even know Ezra? Like, how do you know that Sabine, um, was Ahsoka's Padawan? If Ahsoka didn't recognize Balin right in that first episode, so I'm like, how does Balin know so much stuff about Sabine and Ahsoka? I don't get it. So I don't know if he was in contact with somebody else from the crew or another rebel cell or something like that she got information from. Anyway, the point is that Balin is telling her, if you give me the map, we can all go together. All right, we'll get to rescue Thrawn, and you'll get to rescue Ezra. Um, and Sabine is like, dang it. She's like, all right, gives her the map, um, right there. And then Sheen actually comes back, or awakens from being knocked out by Ahsoka, starts force choking Sabine. But Balin is like, no, no, no. Release her. I gave her my word that she wouldn't be harmed, and I'm going to keep it. Again, I really like Balin because he's not like, yeah, he's kind of evil, but not like brutal, I guess. I don't know what to say. I do get very like I said, like medieval knight vibes from him, sort of a chivalrous vibe. Anyway, they complete the calculations. Hu Yang finally repairs the transmitter, talks to Hera. I really like this scene. Boom. So once they complete the calculations, Balin basically runs his lightsaber through the map, which I really like that scene for some reason. Right there. So the map is basically destroyed now. So he's like, hey, nobody's following us. They all get on board, and then we get the New Republic squad, right? So we get Hera and some of those X-wings, and they're like, hey, 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 what's going on over here? Who's having a party and didn't invite us? So they show up, right, and they start to see the massive Halo ring about to take off. And so Hera's like, "Oh, I think we're gonna have to stop him." And they're like, "Oh, what is this massive surge of energy?" And they're like, "Oh boy, they're gonna jump right in front of us." So very cool scene. I've always loved the way hyperspace looks, especially when it's going against some other stuff, right? Like we did. That is one of my favorite scenes from The Last Jedi. Yes, we won't talk about it, but that is one of my favorite scenes. And so here, a couple of the ships get taken out because of the hyperspace turbulence, if I can call it that. They smash into each other. Hera, has some trouble, but they're fine at the end. And then Hu Yang is basically left alone. Okay, so before we go here into the what some are considering one of the best endings in any episode. Let's catch up with the chat real quick. Okay, yes, we said that. Sean Connery Jedi. Rags from Millennium Worship saying, is she just told to do the flips in her fighting? I guess so, right? Uh, G4 saying agreed. Saga saying, dang, nice observation about Ahsoka's lightsaber style. Yeah, she definitely switched it up. When she was fighting Marok, she actually was holding it not backwards, but the blade towards her, the way she did it at the very beginning of Clone Wars when she was first introduced. So I thought it was interesting that she was kind of going back to her original style of fighting. Juan saying, I think Ahsoka changed her style because she was fighting someone more trained than she is. Maybe, yeah, that's a good point. LeBron saying his armor looks like Dark Jedi Clone Wars armor. Yep. G4 saying left coast noticed the ring on Balin's right hand. Wonder if there's any significance. Probably. There's, they think about these wardrobes quite a bit. Robert Gilster saying Luke riding on the edge of that cliff. Oh, is that what it was? No, I gotta go back. We'll go back in a little bit. Strong with the force, reading her mind. I guess so, but still, he's deep because see, here's the thing. When she tells Shin to go to Lothal, right? He's like, "Oh, you're looking for Sabine Wren. She was Ahsoka's Padawan." And I'm like, "How do you know that? Like, how did you get that information?" The thing about Ezra and Sabine was focusing her thoughts on that. I agree. That could have been read through the Force. Legacy Nerd saying he's manipulative evil. Yes, he's like, I don't know, man. I like him. Balin just because he's a bad guy doesn't mean he's a bad guy. Yeah, I know, but I like the way they're doing it for him. Saga says it seems like he paused right before he brought up Ezra, like he was reading her mind. Force magic, yeah, probably. I'm just saying it's Sabine was thinking very clearly on Ezra Bridger, because he called him out like first and last name. I think Shin is going to turn even as evil as she can be. There's something about her. I agree. Just saw GeForce comment. Yep, what he said. There you go. No worries, trap great minds. Exactly. So, okay. Now we get something we've all been waiting for pretty much for years, right? So, Ahsoka is in what I can only describe as the world between worlds. And yes, it does look a little bit different, right? This looks more like space. How can I say? More like regular space back here, with some intertwined bridges, maybe. And of course, we get. Oops, went too far. We get this right there. Anakin. So Anakin shows up, and it is none other than Hayden Christensen, and it made us all very, very happy. All right, very, very cool. Few observations. I think they de-aged him at least a little bit. He doesn't look as old as he did in Obi-Wan, which everybody complained about. A couple of things that I've seen. One thing that he doesn't have the scar. I think he absolutely does. Um, his outfit is, of course, very much like we last saw him in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Sorry. So, okay. First of all, the surprise element on this comes from it not being a flashback, which I guess everybody had assumed that we were going to see Anakin in a flashback, right? I'm not saying we won't. I'm just saying we thought that was gonna be our main. That was gonna be the main thing, right? Second, I see people asking, is he a Force ghost? I don't think he is. Okay, he doesn't look like one, at least. Again, we don't know much about the world between worlds. I don't know if Force ghosts look like regular people there. Here are a couple of my theories, and these are just my theories, okay? Um, One, he is the goodness that remained within Vader, right? Remember that was sort of a thing in the original trilogy that Luke kept saying, there's still good in him. I have sensed it, all of that. He tells Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's like, nah, he's more machine than man. Don't trust him. Don't, you have to defeat him. um Luke is like, no, I've have felt it. He is good still. So this could be, and again, just thinking here, this could be the manifestation of that good part of Vader, right? So what was left of his previous self, or his light side self, right? And somehow it was preserved here in the world between worlds. Here's another thing. Number two, he is not Anakin. I know. Bear with me. We don't really know who can access the world between worlds, or for that matter, who lives there already, right? We have met strange creatures or strange beings that are very powerful with the Force, or very attuned to the Force. They almost seem to be part of the living Force, right? And yes, I'm talking about the gods of Mortis, the father, the son, the daughter. So, could this be a manifestation of a being like that? What if this is the brother? What if this is the new father, right? In turn, what if Anakin became the new father, right? Trying to maintain balance in the Force, as he is the chosen one, right? There was a prophecy. So, what if he's actually fulfilling the prophecy in, after he passed away in Return of the Jedi? Maybe that had to happen for him to ascend, or for him to gain access to another plane, like the world between worlds, and fulfill his role and sort of try to balance things from there. I know, maybe a little bit far fetched, but it could be. Um, so maybe he's the one keeping Palpatine at bay, right? Maybe he's the one, it's like, hey, no, you can't make your play yet, you can't make your move yet, because the galaxy is not ready, Luke is not ready, or things like that, right? Or it's not supposed to be Luke, it's supposed to be Ray. I don't know, something like that, right? Also, what if, and again, me just thinking about it, what if somebody already altered the timeline a little bit? And I don't like this idea too much, because again, I've told you guys, I don't know that we need the multiverse per se within Star Wars. I'm okay with having like what if, projects, but sort of if they're not, if they don't try to intertwine everything into the main canon. But this is what I'm talking about. Ezra pulled Ahsoka through one of the portals in the War Between Worlds, right? He basically pulled her out of a different time and space at the in that particular junction. So what if somebody decided to do that for Anakin? Who could access the War Between Worlds? We know that Palpatine knows about it, right? We saw it in Rebels. He's technically gone, quote unquote, in this part of the story. So who else do you guys think is powerful enough to access the War Between Worlds? To me, the obvious choice is Luke Skywalker, right? Who has been reading a bunch of old books from the Jedi. He has been training himself. He's becoming very, very powerful. He's probably the most powerful Jedi right now at this point in the story. So, did he learn about the world between worlds? Did he decide to meddle, with the timeline a little bit himself? And maybe he wasn't able to pull Anakin fully, right? He was only able to pull him through one of the portals, and then Luke had to leave the war between worlds, or something else pushed him out. Again, there are a lot of things that could happen. Bottom line is, we get to see Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker once again. We knew it was coming. I wasn't expecting it so much in this episode. I was expecting it more in the next episode. So very, very cool. Everybody's very happy about it. They definitely did a good job with this episode. It was fun. Some stuff, yes, it was pretty obvious. Some stuff, not so much. So overall, yes, I liked it. I think I give this one like an 8.5 out of 10. There was a lot of stuff crammed into it, and I'm all for it. The Halo ship finally took off, which I kind of knew it was going to. There was no way they kept talking and talking about going to find Ezra or go to find Thrawn and not really give us that. I didn't think it was going to take off this soon in the show, which is a little bit exciting. Same thing with Anakin. He didn't pop up really in a flashback, or at least we don't think it's a flashback. So that's good. That's kind of cool. Second, we got to see the fleet. That's always a plus for me. I'll keep saying it. But here is my question, and you guys let me know what you think. What um what happened to Ahsoka for her to get into this realm, into the world between worlds? It didn't look like, is she dead? Is that what we think? Anakin does say, I wasn't expecting to see you here so soon. So maybe she did took a pretty bad tumble and she's in between life and death, maybe. And that's how her consciousness was able to access the world between worlds. Maybe it's her force spirit, right? That she's having an out of body experience through the force. I don't know. So what little we know from the world between worlds from Rebels, it seemed that it had to be accessed through gateways or portals, right? There could be one on Cetos, that's very possible, and maybe she fell into it by accident, and that's how she ended up here. So maybe it wasn't necessarily planned. I'm sure we're gonna get some answers next episode. But what did you guys think about this episode? So in the chat, let me know what is your rank from 1 to 10 for this episode. I kind of already shared mine with an 8.5. It gave us a lot of what we wanted, a little bit of what we didn't expect. It looked gorgeous. We got to see the fleet again. That's always going to be a few points for me, positive points. I mean, um, we got to see Carson Teva. I really like Balin in this episode. The whole thing about Sabine turns dark or betrays Ahsoka, I'm still not buying it 100%, to be honest with you. There's still a chance that they sort of pre-planned this, right, as a backup plan. I don't know. There could still be some changes, right? If she did go bad, I kind of like it actually because um, there is a line that Balin tells uh, Sabine. He says, your family died on Mandalore because your master didn't trust you. Now that was a very interesting line. So is that why Ahsoka and Sabine broke up their relationship as master and Padawan? Is that why they haven't seen each other, in years? Is that why Ahsoka was so reluctant to go back to Sabine, right? Because Sabine blames her for her family dying. So remember, guys, Sabine is part of Clan Ren, a very influential, very well respected clan in the Mandalorian society. But they were kind of always on the side of the rebels, right? Kind of always against the Empire. So we don't know what happened to everybody in the clan. So that comment when he says your family is dead and they died in Mandalore, that's very interesting. Okay, I definitely want to know more about that. But let me jump back here in the chat. Sorry, guys, I went a little bit down the rabbit hole with the theories. Let me catch up with you guys. You guys, once again, thank you so much for coming in. LeBron saying, "Do you think Ahsoka died?" I don't think so, but something happened. Okay, and I'm very curious to see how they explain it. Um, yeah, Jeff was saying this is the scene that took me out. All I could think about was Hawkeye and Thanos getting the Soul Stone or Black Panther visiting the Elders. Yep, I get those vibes. I see that. Nerd affiliated says, except me, Force Ghost in the World Between Worlds doesn't make sense. See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to me either. But I don't know that it is a Force Ghost. I'm still not convinced. Gilster says he is a time traveler. Reason he knows everyone and everything. Balin, you mean? That'd be interesting. Joe saying had to step away for a bit, but didn't question why Sabine Mandalorian is becoming a Jedi. We kind of did that last time, but yeah. Hey Dre, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining here. Good to see you on the stream. LeBron saying if that is what Force Ghost sees. I don't know. It could be, I guess. Joe saying, I think it's an alternate universe where Anakin never turned to the dark side. Yes, about Balin. Got you, Robert. Like I said, I'm not too fond of the multiverse being introduced at this point in Star Wars. Um, we've had one-off stories, like the what if type of thing. They're called infinities. I'm okay with those. I just think if they want to do multiverse here, they're just adding a level of complexity. I'm sorry, that I don't know they can pull off. If I'm being honest, I don't know that Marvel is pulling it off all that well, and they kind of had a very clear roadmap of how they could do it. I don't know that it's the best thing for Star Wars. Okay, that's just my opinion. Of course, it would be cool to see alternate things. I'm okay with them maybe glancing into those alternates, but I don't know, man. If that's what where they're going with it, they're just opening up a box of a can of worms. Sorry. That would be nice. JMC says GeForce. Like I said, it would be fun. I just don't know that that's gonna be the best for Star Wars. Um, Archer says, I think she's dreaming and she's not really there. That might actually be better. If I'm being honest, that might actually be better at this point in the story. We got Castaway Tom Hanks saying Wilson. Joe says, I think G-Force, that's my theory. That's why he looks so young. It was the alternate before he turned, or if he never turned. Like I said, if somebody maybe pulled him through the portal, that could be it too. Trey saying, hey, Nerfulator, G-Force, Gil, Millennium, and LeBron. Um, saying hi to Trey. Juan saying the Anakin theory might hold up. Okay. LeBron saying hydrate. GeForce saying spoiler. Anakin tells Ahsoka that Ezra is dead and she is the one. There you go. At this point, it could very well be it. So Robert gives it a 7. All right, here we go. Let's go with the scores. Let's go with the scores. So we got a 7. Josue gives it a 9, saying really liked it. All right, very solid. Ooh, GeForce giving it a 9. All right, all right. Drake giving it a 7. Okay, so we got 2 7s and 2 9s. Joe saying 9. All right, Anakin showed up. I was happy. Yeah, we all were. But if we were being fair, we knew he was coming. So I like it though. Don't get me wrong. I think it was done. It was done cool, leaving us, to wonder, right? What's gonna happen? Robert said maybe he was talking about Kanan, not Ahsoka. Yeah, could be. Trey saying the force is everywhere and all knowing and all existing, omnipresent. Yeah, it's just the way to access it. The in terms of the war between worlds is what might be different. Dre saying, so this could be hovering on death's door for Ahsoka and the Force is speaking to her. Yep, could be. Yo, Tony, what is up? Exactly. I wasn't expecting to see you so soon, Snips. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, right? What does it mean, right? Expecting to see you here in the War Between Worlds, here in the afterlife, here in this hallucination, here in this alternate universe. I don't know. A lot of wares. We got Mr. Hollywood giving it a 7.5. Oof, roughies. Um, then again, for Archer, that's a pretty high praise. LeBron saying 9. All right. Okay. So overall, I think either people are on the 7 or on the 9s. So no 8s, which is good because it seems like the 9s are winning. Okay. Yes, we are. So Tony from Star Wars Insane, if y'all scoring show yesterday, 10 out of 10. Woo! There we go. Saga saying solid 8. Ah, man, jinxed it. I just said there was no 8s. All right. Well, I was 8.5. So okay, Saga is more in tune with me. Tony from Star Wars Insane, what's up, Gil? Juan saying 8.5. All right, right there with you, brother. Okay, so it seems like we are all very close to agreement. It was a good episode. It gave us a lot of what we wanted to see, of course, and I think they did good at it too. So very, very excited about the next episode, right? Episode 5 next Tuesday. And remember this, that's the one directed by Dave Filoni, right? Last one for the season directed by Dave Filoni. Remember, they were all written by him, which it's showing, right? But this is the one, the only other one besides episode 1 to be directed by Dave Filoni. The rumor is that it's going to be a longer episode, longer runtime, which I'm all about. That sounds good to me. So, what have you guys heard that it's gonna happen? Here's what I've heard. I've heard they're gonna show an alternate version of episode 3, or at least the fight in episode 3, right? That kind of lines up now that we see Anakin in his episode 3 getup. I've heard that we're gonna get to see Thrawn finally, that we're gonna get to see flashbacks, so that's gonna take a little bit of time. Uh, I don't know. I don't know that I want to see all of that in just one episode. Um, because that's a lot. That's a lot to pack in. But I think it's gonna be a good episode. Okay, I think we're finally starting to see some of the stuff that we were expecting. So now I'm a little bit more excited about the stuff that we are not expecting. Like the thing with Merrick, I kind of like the way he got taken out. He couldn't, he wasn't very necessary in the story, at least not that we know of yet. And again, people are saying, well, he was nobody. I'm like, we don't know that he was nobody, right? What if he was Barry's Offie turned zombie, or Quinlan Voss, turned Dathomir zombie as punishment for being in love with Sash Ventress and causing her death? I don't know. I'm just, I'm going off on a tangent here. But the point is that I'm excited. Okay, I am excited for next week's episode. I did enjoy this episode a lot more than I did last week's. Um, the fights were cool. Balin is awesome. I don't think I have anything bad to say about him, except we're probably not gonna get more, right? I mean, with Ray being gone. Uh, so I don't know. I really like that character. I really like Shin. Shin is really starting to grow on me. Visually, I really like the way she looks. I know people are now theorizing that she might turn to the light because she actually is not wearing a whole lot of black. If you notice, she's wearing a lot of brown and a little bit of silver. So more like Jedi color. She does have the Padawan braid, which I like, by the way. So yeah, I think she's doing a great job. I'm blanking out on her name right now, the actress, but she's doing a really good job. Her and Balin, I think, are fine additions to the mythos. I think they are good characters, and so far they portrayed him very, very well. Um, Now I'm very curious about what happened between Sabine and Ahsoka. Now that Balin says, "Hey, you maybe I think what he meant was you could have saved your family on Mandalore if your master would have helped you or would have let you go help." So I kind of want to see a flashback now about that, and I definitely want to see the ships. Whoa, easy, overexcited. I definitely want to see the ships fight. Okay, I want to see that fleet fight. So I know it probably won't happen, or it probably will happen for like 5 seconds. But they keep teasing me with showing the fleet. Right, Home One looks dope. I love seeing Home One again. So I'm very much excited for that. Okay, guys. So I just noticed the time. We are way past the 1 hour mark, but I enjoyed talking to you guys. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. So that's what we do it every single week here on the Fulcrum Decoded. We got 4 more episodes left, guys. So we are halfway there to the season. If you are lucky enough to have a showing in your city, try to make it out there, okay? Because I'm kind of liking this idea of showing episodes for the first time in the big screen on theaters. I like that. Okay, let me catch up here with chat and then we'll call it a night. So we got Nerd Affiliated say visuals continue to be amazing and it was great to finally see a fight, but everything was too predictable. I'll change my score if the explained the ending more. Yeah, I hear you. All fair points. And yeah, man, the visuals are one thing that I cannot complain about. Legacy Nerd saying, how long is the next week's episode supposed to be? I think over 50 minutes. Tony coming in clutch, 52 minutes. That's what I heard too. Star Wars is saying, Merrick is Joe. When you know, you know. There you go. I like that. Now we know. Bro, the room is looking sexy. Oh, hey, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Coming from you, that is high praise, brother. Nerd Feeling say, Ballin is great. They'll have her go sit and he will die doing something heroic. Probably. Yeah, I don't see Balin making it too far in the story. I kind of wish so, but then again, we lost Ray Stevenson, so I don't know how that would work out. Um, but I really like his character, man. I really liked him on this episode. Joe from James C. Collette saying, LOL, Tony, when you know, you know. And Daniel saying, I don't need to see a flashback. I would be happy with very well written dialogue between Ahsoka and Anakin. Yes. Which leads me to my last thing. I want to see them. I kind of want to see Anakin say, hey Snips, how's my kid doing? You check in on him? And she being, oh man, don't get me started on that guy. He was training this little rat looking thing that it looked like Yoda, but then he was too attached to Mandalorian. And I said, no, don't do it. And he's like, nope, I'm going to do it. And then he still kicked him out of the academy. So I don't know what's up with that kid. I'm down for a dialogue like that, by the way. Very Kevin Smith like. All right, there. So thank you so much for joining me here on this fine Wednesday night on the Fulcrum Decoded, where we talked about Ahsoka Episode 4, Fallen Jedi. And we definitely had a lot to talk about. I appreciate you guys hanging out here. We went a little bit longer. Uh, Final housekeeping, please, if you haven't, go check me out over on Instagram, general.kenobis.bunkers, and also on TikTok at general_kenobis_bunker. And also, please go check out this Spanish YouTube channel called El Bunker del General Kenobi, which literally translates to General Kenobi's bunker, honestly. So thank you so much, Bunker Bunch. You guys are amazing each and every single week. I hope that we all get what we want in the next episode, at least some of it, right? I think there's a lot of potential still to be had on this show. We're halfway there for the season. I don't know if or when we're going to get a second season. So enjoy the ride for now because I don't know when the next live action Star Wars project is going to be. So again, if you are lucky enough to have a theater showing of episode 5 of Ahsoka in your city, try to make it out. You know, it should be about an hour earlier from when the episode drops in your region. So with that, I thank you, each and every single one of you, for joining me here on this fine Wednesday night. You guys have an awesome rest of your week, awesome weekend. Start thinking about what's going to happen. Start mentalizing. Start projecting out there. Let's put it out in the world that we're going to have an amazing Star Wars episode next week. So let's do it. We need one. All right. So Saga saying, all right, Bunker Bunch, have a great night. See you all in the next one. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. Thank you, Robert. And we got Archer saying, great stream. No, it's all thanks to you guys. Remember, you guys are the Bunker Bunch. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night. Get some rest. Go watch Ahsoka one more time. Go figure out what you missed. And I'll catch you back here. All right. Y'all have a great night. May the force be with you.